Hi guys, Sensei Richard here. Well, since we're all now back at home, I thought now's a good time to give us a few tips about just how to train at home. But before I start that, first thing, I'd just like to say thanks to everybody who's been asking how I am. The operation went well, I'm recovering. Now, obviously being at home it's very different to training at the dojo. The main thing is, well, our houses are great. They're not wide open spaces, they tend to have things in them like chairs, tables, televisions. And so when you're training, the first thing to be aware of your space. It's very easy to accidentally damage, break or knock something over. In fact, if you ask any of the long-time trainers, you'll discover that almost all of us will have a tale or two of breaking something by accident. So, first things first. Make sure that you've got enough space to actually train. You may only be able to turn one step or two in any direction. That's fine. Just adjust your movements with that. Do sets related to how far you need to go. Next, obviously consider what you're actually going to train on. Basics, kata are obvious things to do. So when you are doing those, also consider what's around you and how you can use it as an aid. So in my recent classes, we recently did some wall work where we put our hands, for example, against a wall, worked on our kicks. You can carry on doing things like that, and the house is the perfect place to do that, but obviously be aware what's around you. Similarly, you can, if you've got a low back chair, you can use that to hold on and practice doing roundhouse kicks over that, using it to make sure you keep your knee up. Now, obviously, you don't have to always train indoors. If the weather's nice, like today, you can train outside. In that case, if you've got the option, a garden's a good spot. Obviously, you generally have a bit more space to do things, but still be aware of what's around you. May have garden furniture, clotheslines, various other things. So just consider that. Now also, if you are training outside and for example decide you want to do a bit of kabuto, look out for things like the distance. So if you're going to use a bow or nunchucks or something like that, make sure you're not going to bang into any windows, doors, fences, whatever. Finally, consider the surface as well. If you're planning to do some of the kata, which for example have big jumps in them, it may be better to actually do the jumps on grass as opposed to say slabs. Other sorts of training you also can obviously think about, just general exercise. Press ups, sit ups, even just your stretching. Fine, you can do that almost anywhere. Maybe decide to do a bit of a box splits while watching a YouTube video. What do you wear to train? Entirely up to you. Some people feel more comfortable wearing a gi, and it puts them in the right change of mind. Others, maybe they just put on the belt. Sometimes, others, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're wearing. All I'd say is, just make sure that it's suitable for what you're trying to do. So if you want to be practicing kicks, make sure you've actually got the room to actually move and the flexibility. I mean, when I was younger, for example, I used to like to wear my belt when doing stretches because I used to use that to judge my distance from the ground and if my stretch was actually getting better. But choice is yours. Anyway, myself, Sensei Sue, and all the rest of the team will all be around, so you can contact us online if you need to. Stay safe, and as we always say, never give up, never give in.